My, ladies and gentlemen. The Doctor Who viewing figures are in for 7 days. Now, this is the BBC iPlayer, which everyone has said is going to be astronomically high. You know, millions of people would have been waiting and watching on BBC iPlayer. Streaming's the future. They don't watch it live. What are you talking about? This was the justification everyone had for the abysmal live overnight viewing figures on television. Well, they're in, and I mean, they're not good. They're boy howdy, they're not good. All right, they're not good at all. So let's take a look, ladies and gents. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on, and support the channel if you like. If you like what I do, consider supporting via Patreon for as little as $2, which is less than a coffee, especially these days. My God, coffee's expensive. But anyway, so we have it here. Look. UK Doctor Who ratings accumulator. What's your guesses, guys? Is it really good? It's not. Spoiler alert, it's really not. First episode had 2.6 million people view live overnight on TV. My God. Shall we have a look? 4. I was gonna do it one by one. 4 million. 4 million. That's 7 days of views plus all of the iPlayer. Right. So 2.6 million viewed it overnight. Across 7 days, we're now only at 4. That's really bad. That's an entire 7 days worth of viewing across everything. That's atrocious. And note, actually, that they lost viewership. 100,000 people checked out. Which makes sense, actually. I tell you what, that corresponds really nicely to the overnight viewing figures. Because if you look, episode 1 and episode 2, they lost 200,000 people between episodes. Literally, one episode aired and 200,000 people clicked off at that point because they didn't want to watch the second episode. And this correlates really nicely to the viewing figures over on the 7 days. Because 7 days, they lose 100,000 people. Right? Now, they lost 200,000 between episodes. So, maybe 100,000 of those people watched it again on, decided to watch it on BBC iPlayer. I don't know. But either way, they lost 100,000 people. It correlates quite nicely, actually, which points even further to episode 3, where they lost nearly 600,000 people from episode 1 to episode 3. That 7-day figure is going to be atrocious. That's going to be absolutely atrocious. Now, it's really, I'm not pulling the hood over anyone's eyes here. Quick guide. Overnight TV ratings only include those who watched it live and those who recorded and watched it later that night, right? So that's the overnight figures there, you can see. +7 consolidated ratings include those who recorded and watched within a week. They don't have that yet, which is weird. So that will be interesting when we get that. +4 screen since 2018. The final consolidated figure also takes into account viewers on tablets, PCs and smartphones. Live Plus, okay, Live Plus counts those who watch live and all repeats, including iPlayer, within X days. But we don't have that. It's quite literally +7 TV +4. So, is this us not getting the iPlayer results? Or is this actually... I mean, what is it? Do we have this? No. What does this mean then? Are we actually getting it or not? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is the iPlayer stuff as well. I'm guessing. Audience Appreciation Index. This will be hilarious when we get the Audience Appreciation Index. Well, that ain't going to be good. It's a score out of 100, which is used as an indicator of the public's appreciation for a show. 90 is considered exceptional, 85 or over is excellent, 60 or less is poor, and less than 55 is very poor. What's your guesses? Bet now where it's going to be. Now, the reason why I think this is iPlayer as well, by the way, is we have notorious mouthpiece of the BBC, the Radio Times here. And they say the numbers are in. We now have a clearer picture of the ratings for Doctor Who's launch episodes, with confirmed audience figures for the first 7 days following the first 2 episodes' release. According to Barb, 4.01 million tuned in for Space Babies and 3.91 million for The Devil's Cord. These figures are the 7-day consolidated ratings and include those who watched on BBC iPlayer. So, although this isn't 100% like obvious because it says TV plus 4 screen, so it doesn't say live plus counts, right? It just says plus 4, you know, in 7 days, TV plus 7. Well, the Radio Times is saying that that is what it is. So you could only get 1.4 million people to watch on BBC iPlayer. This was supposedly like the most incredible thing ever. This was what was going to, you know, be the clincher as why this was successful. Oh, those episodes overnight, they weren't a failure because people were watching on BBC iPlayer. What, 1.4 million people? That's fucking appalling. Excuse my language. That's genuinely appalling. You couldn't even get 5 million people in total to watch across TV, iPlayer, across 7 days of a brand... Really? Of a brand new season? Yeah, that's bad. Now, the next excuse... Wait, I can see you typing down below. The next excuse it will be... But everyone's got Disney Plus now. People watched on Disney Plus. Yeah? Let's wait for them figures to come out. Because we can get independently verified figures from them via Samba TV and Nielsen. So let's just wait, shall we? Let's wait and see how bad those figures are. And we'll see how you wheel out those excuses once more. Now, I do like the Radio Times because their silence is deafening. Viewing figures for programs on broadcast channels are consolidated. Are you going to comment on how bad it is? No? Oh, you're not. You're not even trying to defend it. Interesting. That's funny, isn't it? They tried to defend it in the first articles they were doing about the viewing figures. Can't defend it now, can they? Because they were like, that's not the only picture. That's not the full picture. We've got to get the iPlayer figures. Oh yeah, 1.4 million people. That ain't good, mate. That ain't good at all. But it speaks volumes because, again, if I go over to here, I mean, 31% the season overall so far. Funny, I will say, ladies and gents, episode 3, they're not allowing reviews for yet. Now, I can say that with certainty, by the way, because if I go to the overall reviews by the audiences, there is nothing newer than the 14th. Huh. Did everyone just stop watching? I mean, God, only. If only. But no, they didn't. You're blocking reviews. That's not suspect at all, is it? So there you go. Viewing figures overall from the iPlayer as well. Pretty appalling, actually. Pretty bloody terrible. Now, I remember a time when David Tennant, Matt Smith, people like that were getting 10 million views or something like that. 10 million! No, we can't even crack 5. I think people listened, mate. I think they went and touched grass.